the Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, on behalf of the FEI, welcome to Hagen for another exciting qualifier of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Season 2023. It is with great anticipation that we await to discover the rising stars which will be competing here in the upcoming days. The FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Series provides an essential foundation for our sports, teaching young athletes the importance of teamwork and companionship, all while allowing them to gain experience at international level. Over the 2023 season, we have 11 qualifiers, following which the best teams in the region will come together to fight it out for the highest step on the podium at the final in Hagen in Belgium. With the first event of the year having taken place in the Middle East, two regions now future qualifiers of the series, which goes to show its increasing popularity. It is thanks to the organizers, partners, volunteers and officials that we can provide such an incredible platform for our youth stars to come together and shine. The FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Series offers an opportunity for our youngsters to represent their nation, create unforgettable memories, and kindle a fire for future international representation and success. The FEI, ladies and gentlemen, wish every nation competing here in Hagen the best of luck. And so we have 4 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, until we are starting with the next FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth of the Children. Design und Leistbarkeit. Covaliro ist die Reitsportmarke des Familienunternehmens aller Kerl wie FEI. Covaliro, the strong flash brand for writing in sportswear, the Curve word, which stands for fashionable, functional, and affordability equestrian sports collections. Covaliro, which is the champions of the future in a successful horse show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first round of the Nations Cup of the Children. It takes of 7 teams to go in this competition with a length of 435 meters. We have 12 obstacles with 2
So the stage set and the final preparations made. Welcome to FEI TV and to Cut My Horse as well, and thank you for joining us here in Hagen. It is the Future Champions Tour. It is the Youth Nations Cup Series. We've seen Ireland take 2 victories so far in the juniors and indeed the ponies just this morning. And we turn our attention now to the children on horses. The course set by Klaus Holler and his team, the German course time team, doing a stellar job so far. The time allowed here for the children on horses of 75 seconds across the 435-metre track. 7 teams coming forward to battle it out: Belgium, Ireland, Germany, Poland, the Netherlands, Lithuania and Sweden, all contesting this Children on Horses Nations Cup. And it will be the job of Belgium to open the scoring here. Of course, we wish the very best of luck to all the riders coming forward. These young athletes stepping up to put on a show for us here on FEI TV live from the Youth Nations Cup of Hagen. And we start with Jules Limon-Dout, who comes forward. Aragon Dulufo is the partner. 13 years of age now, this gelding. So again, as we've said throughout the last couple of days, the Youth Nations Cup series competed across the course of the season, from Belgium to Italy, the Czech Republic, France, Austria, and beyond, working their way across the nations and finding themselves in the penultimate round for the children on horses here in Hagen. It is Italy with a small lead at the moment, and the first ride for Belgium there, picking up 4 along the way, 74.90 and 4 with Jules Limon-Dout. Aragon Dulufo is finishing up on 4 there. Of course, never easy going first in the team games, and that leaves work to do for the rest of the team. As we've discussed a few times, the discard score comes into play with 4 riders in each team. The score of one of those riders will be dropped along the way. As we turn our attention to Ireland now, who proved quite dominant here so far in Hagen with a couple of Nations Cup victories already. It's James Kernan's Irish team, and anchored here by Lily Tunney as the first away. Caravaggio is the ride, this stallion now 12 years of age by Calestis. Close to the time, 74.83, and it is clear all the way. Lily Tunney keeping everything moving smoothly forward there, putting in the stellar performances for Ireland so far, proving pretty dominant here in Hagen at the moment. Could they take their third Nations Cup victory, Lily Tunney and Caravaggio safely clear? To the third of our teams, Germany join us now, the home team, of course. Julie Marie Cunha, who rides this one. Diallo is the partner, the 13-year-old son of Diorado, with Lavisto lines on the dam side. For the MK Sport Horses team then. Can they get Germany off to a good start? Germany having not the best of luck, it's fair to say, in front of the home crowd so far this weekend. Still plenty of time to recover that, though, with this Children on Horses Nations Cup, and indeed the Young Riders Nations Cup to follow later on today as well. Again, another interesting track from Klaus Holler and his course design team. And the time allowed proving to be influential as always at this level. We saw a couple picking up time faults in this morning's pony competition. We've seen a couple get close to it so far here today, and we're only in the early stages. This one's fine though, 72.55. No danger of time penalties there, 75 seconds the time allowed, and it is a clear to open the scoring for Germany. Jolie Marie Kühner does the job, as she did just a few weeks ago in Lamprechtshausen, in fact. Continuing on through this opening round as Poland represented now by Wiktoria Kaczmarzycka. Kola is the stallion that she rides, 14 years of age, by clear to jump Saint-Givin. Imeldik on the dam side of the mare. Relatively new combination to the World of Nations Cup show jumping. And the Children on Horses series getting ever more popular year on year, just attempting to bridge the gap between pony riding and moving into the horse ranks as well. So many of these riders starting to do it earlier and earlier, and now 7 teams contesting this one. In fact, the busiest of the Nations Cup competitions here in Hagen. Oh, that was it is 4 penalties for the refusal and a little bit of time wasted, but she did very well to get back up into the saddle. Over it into the combination at the second time of asking, and now got to settle those nerves and recover well. She didn't waste too much time, but it is going to be pretty much unavoidable for time penalties. Again, not the first time we've seen that combination cause problems today. One of the German riders, in fact, in the pony competition, eliminated twice at the very same fence, and it's going to be the same result here. The second disobedience on track comes for Wiktoria and for Kola. That second disobedience, of course, bringing about elimination, and that just starts to pile a little bit of pressure on the rest of the team. Of course, by no means an insurmountable mountain to climb, but it doesn't make it easy. As we've seen so many times this opening round, whilst it does allow the teams to set the stage and set themselves up for victory, it by no means guarantees it. We've seen a lot of teams come from way behind in that second round to take over a victory, as the Dutch team did, in fact, back in Lamprechtshausen in Austria just a month or so ago. It is River Morsinkov who gets the scoring off to a start for the Netherlands. Checkpoint Chaco is the partner here. Just a little bit off the stride there and paying the price. It's going to be a rail down, and 4 is the score. Oh, no. Looks like all okay. We're back on the feet. Checkpoint Chaco walking away from that one. The important thing, both parties seemingly walking away absolutely fine from that, but it is going to very sadly bring about elimination with River Morsinkov and Checkpoint Chaco. And as again we saw with the Polish team, that just makes everything a little bit more difficult as the 3 rides remain. Got a little bit of a mountain to climb. Again, that will become the discard score at this stage, of course, but from here on in, absolutely every penalty counts for the Netherlands. Lithuania join us now. Laura Bergait, who comes forward with Need for Speed, and another 14-year-old gelding, this son of Necton, with cello lines on the dam side. They've been on pretty decent form, it's fair to say, over the course of the last few months. Some top 5 finishes at the 1m25 and 130 level. Working well with the horse so far. She jumped well, in fact, earlier on in the week in the 2-phase competition for the children on horses, jumping double clear in a decent time to take a top 10 finish on that occasion. And it looks like she may just get the job done today. No, it's going to tick over the time. In fact, look, 76.22 with a 75-second time allowed, and it's 1 fault per second commenced over that time. It brings in 2 for time for Laura Bergait for Need for Speed and for Lithuania.
And the last team is Sweden.
The last of the first rides, it is the ride of Nikki Andersson here for Sweden with K and T Kabak. This a 10-year-old stallion. And again, Nikki not had the easiest of weeks so far with rails down across the grades and the children on horses with both horses in the string. But she'll be looking to improve on that and put in a good performance to open scoring here for Sweden. Again, looking at those Nations Cup standings, by no means has the top spot been decided. It's pretty close in the children on horses rankings. Less than 40 penalties, or 40 points rather, separating the top 5. With Italy, Germany, Poland and the Czech Republic 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. 5th at the moment with France, who we don't see represented here today. Neither do we see Italy, of course. But again, they take the points from the best 4 performances for each team. And with 1 further round to go in Switzerland at the end of August. Of course, all still to play for, but a rail comes down here as we rejoin Nikki on track with K and T Kabak, 4th jumping at this stage as they work their way through that penultimate double and over the final fence as well. It's was that the last fence that went as well? Hard to say from the angle, but either way it is 8 there for Nikki Andersson with K and T Kabak. So with 1 ride gone for each team, Belgium are on 4, Ireland 0, Germany 0, Poland and the Netherlands have a little bit of work to do with both of their first rides not making it home. Lithuania on 2 and Sweden on 8. But we head back to the top of the list, back to Belgium now. Jean-Jacques Mathis brings forward the team, and the second ride is Itzka van den Eyde. Maria STBZ is the partner, a relatively young horse, just 7 years of age, by Elvis Tapuda, with Vigo Das 3 lines as well, running here for Joseph de Vogel, and of course for the Belgian team. So the first of the Belgian riders finishing up on 4 penalties, as we saw. They rail down for Jules Limondeau. So at this stage, every penalty counts. They're all going to start to rack up on the scorecards. We're okay at the moment. And again, it's not just about this opening round. The endurance starts to play into it. It's pretty warm in Hagen, as it is all over Europe at the moment. 24, 25 degrees in the arena. Maybe a little bit hotter in the center of those sand pits. They do get warm. And that final fence goes, so it is going to be 4 for jumping. Look at the time as well. It's 3 for time. 77.08, and 7 is the final score for Itzke van den Eyden.
The Irish team with a claim.
So 4 penalties at the moment is the best possible result for Belgium. As you can see, 1 score dropped, the score of 7 removed from the consideration, but the score of 4 now that stands. To Ireland we go, at the moment with a 0 score. Lily Tunney got the job done this morning with a clear on board Caravaggio. Now it is the turn of Ruby Lily Gaines, who comes forward. Castle Lux Clover, another young horse, this son of Borodil Clover, just 7 years of age, and a stallion that comes forward as the ride for Ruby here. Sounded like it went, and that confirmed by the graphic on screen. In fact, the first part of that combination that falls. So again, there are faults showing across the spectrum here. Not just all over the course, but indeed each of our teams having little problems along the way in the early stages. Sneaks inside the time though, 74.37. Does well to finish up on just the 4 there for Ruby and for Castle Lux Clover. Again, as you can see, that 4 score removed from consideration at this stage. But again, 2 more rides to come for the Irish team as we continue on down the list to Germany now. The first of the German rides jumping clear with Jolie Marie Kühner. Now we turn our attention to Maximilian Fimpel and Karatenga. This one with Cascadello lines, in fact, on the dam side. This mare, again, a 7-year-old. A little bit hollow over the triple bar, but starting to move forward nicely and find their stride. Nicely through that treble combination again, being used early in the round. rattled, but it did. It stayed 72.08, and it stays clear for Germany's Maximilian Wimpel and Cartagena jumping clear there. So 2 gone and 2 clears for Germany. They stay on that potential 0 score at this stage. Continuing on to Poland now, and again it is the turn of Aleksandra Borozowska, who comes forward with Make My Day Picobello Z. This a 13-year-old gelding by Mr. Blue, Libero H on the dam side. Alexandra joining us then as for the second time this week. They're looking for another clear. They were clear, in fact, on Thursday in the opening competition. A steady time to miss out on a cash placing, but clear all the way to just get a little bit of confidence here in Hagen. Well, what went wrong there? Just a little mistake, and the Oxer at fence 6 rather, comes crashing down emphatically. Ooh, were we over the water? I think we were okay. Again, the first of the rides for Poland unfortunately didn't make it to the end of the course. So everything counts at this stage. It is going to start teching up faults as another one goes down the final fence. Is 8 then for Alexandra, and for Make My Day Picobello Z. So Poland on 8 at the moment. But again, we're still in the relatively early stages here. A little under halfway through this opening round. It could all still change as we look down the list next to the Netherlands. And again, there's another team in a similar position. Their first ride, unfortunately, parting ways with the rider. If we turn our attention now to Stella Hayers, who comes forward with Go-Go. Again, so the first rider for the team of the Netherlands did unfortunately not finish the course, eliminated on that occasion. And everything now counts. Pressure really on the remainder of the team here in round number 1. Still a couple of teams on a potential score of 0 with 2 rides gone. It's Ireland and Germany, who may still well finish on 0 in the opening round, and of course still 3 teams to field their second ride yet. So this combination jumping clear, in fact, on the opening day of the show back on Thursday. They did unfortunately tick over the time allowed on that occasion, though. They were clear for jumping, but 2 for time. They look to be pretty well paced at this stage, though, here for our Nations Cup. The time is snug, but it's not unachievable, as we've seen many times so far. Ooh, a little bit wide down to this final line, though, and that is going to take them over. 75 seconds now. It's going to be a handful of time penalties, 4 of them in fact. 78, 75 clear jumping, but it is 4 for time with Stella and with Go-Go, so that puts the Netherlands up to a score of 4. Currently sitting then running in equal third in the early stages here.
Start results for the 16. Der nächste Gelding hat Emilia Zeitkostkarte. Lilletal.
Emilia Zalkowskaite who comes forward now. Corrales is the ride, a 10-year-old gelding. Again, the first of the Lithuanian team's rider finishing up on a score of 2. 2 penalties from the cock for the first ride. And Emilia now will be keeping one eye on the clock. Remember that time allowed of 75 seconds, and we've seen a few riders tick over it now. They're okay for time. They're up and over that final fence, 71.04, and it is clear all the way for Emilia Zalkowskaite, and indeed for Corrales, clear all the way. Keeps that potential 0 score on the cards for Lithuania. Last of the second rides then, and to Sweden we will look. It will be Fabian Tulik. This 11-year-old gelding is Vero then. Tama Force on the dam side of this gelding. Again, first ride for Sweden, Nicky Andersson picking up a score of 8. So if they want to be in contention for that top spot come the end of round number 1, they could do with a clear here. At the moment, potentially 0 scores for Ireland, Germany and Lithuania. 4 for Belgium, 4 for the Netherlands, 8 for Poland. The final fence, they didn't deserve it, 72-21. It was such a great round, but it is going to be 4 there for Fabian and for Vero, 72-21 and 4. So it does take the score for Sweden up to a 4-fault potential best. At the moment, that slips into equal 4th place, in fact. So at the end of 2 rides, it is Ireland, Germany and Lithuania tied for the top spot. Belgium, Netherlands and Sweden tied for 4th. And Poland just a fraction behind. As we look to Belgium once again, Xander Lambert's here and Opien van der Koelmerken. Again, 2 rides so far for Belgium, 1 on 4, 1 on 7, so the 4-fault score stands as Xander makes a start now with this one. The 7-year-old son of Elvis Tapuda with Vigo Darsui on the dam side. Another combination that jumped well in the opening competition on Thursday, jumping clear in the one round against the clock. Not going to be clear today, though. It's not the first one we've seen have almost the exact same problem at that fence. Casting our mind back to the opening ride for Poland, had the very similar refusal at that very same fence, as did one of the German riders, in fact, in our pony competition this morning. Did well to recover and get back in the saddle. Now there's work to do. Safely through the combination at the second time of asking. And of course, with that refusal and the 6-second time penalty, it is going to take well into the time penalties. 13 will be the final score for jumping, and 13 is the final score. 9 for time then for Xander Lamberts with Opium van der Kalumerken. It does take Belgium up to a best potential score of 11 in this opening round of the Children on Horses Nations Cup, as we look to Alice Maloney now for Ireland. Cosmea comes forward as the ride. A 11-year-old Carrel side mare. Ireland with 2 rides gone sit on a score of 0, one ride on 0, one rider on 4, but of course the 4 discarded at this stage. No room for error though, with everything counting from now on. So Alice has been on winning form twice already this week in the Children on Horses rankings, but not with this horse. The other horse in the string, Castlefield Cass, jumping well to take the win on Thursday and indeed yesterday as well. This one jumped clear on Thursday afternoon. A little bit too steady to be in the money placings, but again, Alice on very good form with now 3 clears scored here at Hagen. Can she make number 4 in the opening round of this Children's Nations Cup? Yes, she can. Question asked, question answered. 71-42. She's done a great job for the Irish team. Alice Maloney keeps the dream alive, and potentially a 0 score still possible for Ireland with 3 rides gone. Dressed for Success will be the next away. Luis Kornle will be the rider for Germany here with this one. It is by Eurocommerce Washington with Corrado lines on the dam side. Things looking good for the home team at this stage. 2 gone and 2 clears. Another one here would guarantee them with a 0 score at the end of round number 1. Can we get the job done early for Germany? It's going to be into time. In fact, 3 of them, 77.51. It's clear jumping, but it is 3 for time there with Luisa, and for dressed for success, it is then a score of 3 penalties. Still, of course, the potential 0 score for Germany with 1 ride still to come. But again, now they cannot afford any mistakes if they want to keep clear into round number 2. And in fact, all of our top 3 teams in the same position, all have faults on the scorecards now in the late stages of this opening round. So we turn our attention to Poland once again, and it is Adam Kaczynski who comes forward as the next. Charlton is the partner. 16 years of age now with Quasimodo lines in this gelding. At the moment, Poland running in 6th place with 8 penalties on the scorecards. One from home should just sneak into that time allowed. It does, 74.68, and it is a clear there for Poland. A much needed clear, in fact, to hold on to a chance here in the opening round. It is clear all the way for Adam Kaczynski and for Charlton. So 8 penalties at the moment with 3 rides gone for Poland, and a little bit more work still to do here in this opening round. The 3rd ride then for the Netherlands. Next up, it is Nina Houtzager who comes forward with Chaco Tana. This combination we saw back in Lamprechtshausen in the early part of May, if memory serves. A 12-year-old mare by Chaco Gold. The Netherlands carrying 4 at the moment, with 1 rider eliminated, 1 rider finishing up on 4. Work to do then for Edwin Hugenrath and his team. Coming to that final fence, could they stay inside the time? Just 75 seconds the time allowed. 0.06, in fact, 600ths inside for the Netherlands and for Nina Houtzager. Jumping clear then and keeping the Netherlands on that 4 score at this stage. Still a final ride to come for a couple of teams, in fact, as we turn our attention next to Lithuania. Lithuania currently potentially on a 0 score with 2 rides completed, 1 on 2 time penalties, 1 on a clear. Leia Nagvasaita, who comes forward as the next. This is Kira's Connor Moore as the ride. Another 7-year-old, this gelding that takes on the challenge. Looking a little bit boisterous in the early stages and picking up a penalty with the refusal at the very first, in fact. And it's going to be a second disobedience, in fact, at that very first fence, and that is going to make things a little bit tricky for the Lithuanian team. It takes them up to 2, which of course by no means a difficult score to come back from, but a little bit of pressure now on the final rider for Lithuania here in round number 1. 2 penalties is the best potential score, which takes them into 3rd at this stage. As we turn our attention to this final ride for Sweden. Julia Dafgard, who comes forward then. Noblesse Jamais. In fact, before that, of course, the ride from Matilda Hansen and Hello HX coming forward to take part. We saw, in fact, Matilda a little bit earlier on in the day. She was riding in the pony competitions. Jumped pretty well in the ponies. Just an unlucky rail in each round, but some good performances earlier on in the week, in fact, with clears on the pony and the children on horse warm-up as well, taking placings in both of the warm-up classes. Sweden carrying 4 at the moment. Up and over the final fence, 68.78, and it is clear all the way, 68.78. All good there for Matilda Hansen and LOHX.
68.78 seconds. So the forward of every team is coming up now.
4 penalties for Sweden then as the final score, with 3 rides gone, and of course a final ride for each team still to come. But with 3 rides gone, Ireland and Germany both sit on potential 0 scores. Lithuania on a score of 2, the Netherlands and Sweden on 4, with Poland on 8 and Belgium on 11 at this stage. And it's Belgium who kick things off here in round number 1 with the final rides. Seacoast, Don't Touch, TG Hero is the ride of Estelle van Tricht.
74.03. And the chance now to be clear as team in the first round for Ireland. The last to go, limited edition, Hagen from Ireland.
Well, Ireland confident at this stage, and rightfully so, 72-36, and it is another clear to add to the list. Ireland with already 2 Nations Cup victories here in Hagen, now on the hunt for a third. They will wrap up round number 1 with a 0 score, just one of 2 teams with the opportunity to do that, as Lily Tunney, Ruby Gaines, Alice Maloney and Cian McMahon progress to round number 2 with nothing against them. The other team with a potential 0 is Germany, the home team, and they join us now. Colin Sorg will be the representative. Cassias II is the ride, a 13-year-old gelding, a son of Cassius, coming forward to take on the challenge. Safely through that penultimate double. Will they get there? Yes, they will. It is clear all the way for Germany, 73-66, and Germany also finish up on a 0 score here at the end of round number 1.
Was the third player, ladies and gentlemen, for the German team, 73-160. So the team stays clear after round 1. And now the Polish team. Connie is coming up. The Bavarian Mare, Bayern, 8 Jahre alt, Susanne.
So we continue on here through round number 1 then. 2 teams heading forward with a 0 score, but still to see a final ride for Lithuania, for the Netherlands, for Sweden, Poland, and in fact there's those teams still to field their final ride. Ireland and Germany both on 0, with Belgium heading forward on 11, but all still to play for with the format of Nations Cup show jumping. It's never over. A late challenge from any team, plus a little bit of bad luck for some, could change everything as we work our way through and we turn our attention to Poland now. It is the ride of Zuzanna Przybylska, who comes forward with Connie 391. Oh, what a real shame. It was going so well. They were on for a clear, but just a little bit of miscommunication between horse and rider. And it is going to be the second elimination, I'm afraid, for the Polish team. And that will not be the way they wanted to end round number one. The rider back up on her feet. We sincerely hope everything okay with both horse and rider in that one. Sadly, the parting of ways brings about elimination, and with that second elimination, it is in fact the elimination for the team as a score in round number one.
Das bedeutet allerdings leider auch für das Team aus Polen, dass es damit ausgeschlossen ist in Runde 1 und damit leider nicht in der zweiten Runde teilnehmen wird. So well, the elimination of the Polish team in case of 2 eliminated riders in the first round. Und jetzt geht's weiter mit den Niederlanden. Tinivität, Liv Linsen for the Netherlands.
To the Netherlands we go once again, and it is the ride of Liv Linsen, then Sini WZ, a 8-year-old mare by Comilfo, genus on the dam side. And again, the Netherlands just holding on to a score of 4 at this stage, but again, with the first rider eliminated, it is dangerous territory, as we've just seen for the Polish team. A slight mistake can bring everything to an end. So just a few rides left to go here in round number 1, and of course the individual competition still to follow. All these rides taking part in an individual competition as well, along with 20 or so individuals coming forward in the next stage of the competition. But it's clear all the way there for the Netherlands, and they wrap up round number 1 with a score of just 4 penalties. Good performance from Liv Linsen and from Gini WZ.
The score for the Dutch team in the first round. Lithuania so far with an elimination to Clear, who is the last. Kalmiho, Torojos, Lemkevicius, Lithuania.
So working our way through these final couple of rides, it's Lithuania who join us once again. Trojas Rimkevikas who comes forward. Calamero W is the partner. Another 7-year-old, some younger horses being represented here in the Children on Horses, which is good to see. Lithuania at the moment carrying 2 penalties, just a couple of time penalties on the scorecards at the moment. But again, they've lost one rider with Leia Nagvasgate, in fact, eliminated, and an early rail down here will start to add to that score with Trojas. It is up to 6 now for the team.
For Lithuania, the 4th rider, Trojas Rimkevičius, Kalmiho, 4 penalties, 73.7 to 7. The first round of the Nations Cup. Kalmiho präsentiert diesen und somit auch das letzte Mal für Schweden.
Finishes up on just the 4 there for jumping with Trojas and Lithuania, so they will wrap up round number 1 with that score of 6 at this stage. So Ireland and Germany on 0, the Netherlands finishing up on 4. Will it be a 4-fault score for Sweden? That's how things currently stand as Julia Dafgard comes forward. Noblesse Jamais comes forward as the final ride then for Team Sweden here. So at the moment sitting in equal 3rd. They needed clear to stay there at the end of round number 1. Well, problem starting to show as another rail falls, in fact, and it will be up to 8 now, 72-51, and the final score at the end of round 1 for Sweden is a total of 12, which pushes them down into 6th place.
So we have a Swedish score of 12 penalties at the first round. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was the first round.
So we wrap up round number 1 then with Ireland and Germany tied for top spot on that 0 score. The Netherlands in 3rd place with 4 penalties. Lithuania on 6 in 4th. Belgium in 5th on a score of 11. Sweden on 12 in 6th place. And Poland, I'm afraid, out of the running with 2 riders eliminated at the end of round number 1. As we can see now, the scores are all confirmed on screen, and you can catch up with those on the Equipe website or app as well if you're interested. Of course, the individual competition to follow in just a moment's time.
So individuals,
And once we've seen the individuals, we'll bring forward the second round for our teams as well. But for now, it is the individuals coming after a short break. Join us here for the individual competition and round number 2 for the teams in just a few moments' time, live on FEI TV and Clip My Horse.
CSIO Children Individual Competition. Formuliere die starke Flaschenmarke für Pferd und Reiter und Partner von Future Champions versteht sich als symbiose Konstruktion, Design und Leistbarkeit. Formuliere die Reitsportmarke des Familienunternehmens Albert Campbell GmbH. Formuliere the strong fashion brand for riding and sportswear of the Campbell Group, which stands for fashionable, functional and affordability equestrian sports collections. Formuliere, which is the champions of the future, a successful marshal. We're going into the same course like in the Nations Cup, and the first is split point, the girling of Zagalo, Jackson, Rossman from Ireland. Jackson Brosnan and which point the first to go from Ireland 8 plus 5 for times of 13, 79.10 seconds. Der Einzelpunkte 79,10 Sekunden. Vitamin du Viage, eine französische Stute, die nun kommt, sie ist 14 Jahre alt, mit Linnea Makovai für Deutschland. Vitamin du Viage, Linnea Makovai, 78,77. Die Zahl bedeutet 4 kommen darauf für die Zeit, schon mal 12 insgesamt. 12 finalists, 78.77 seconds. The Dutch Mark Juliet, as next on the School of Dantos, wins running for the Netherlands. Punkte aus dem Parcours 7 für Zeitüberschreitung sind es mit Nunning und Juliet 81,68, seven time penalties 81.68. Königliches Warmblutfeld der Niederlande wäre nach Gino, 12-jährig von London, Maike Lujic für die Niederlande. Michael Lujic and Gino, 12 finalists, included 4 for exceeding the time out, 78.93 seconds. Die Holsteiner Studie wie Akaria von Aragon und Maximilian Wirzina. Twelve penalties, 2 for chance, so 14 Maximilian Wirzina, 76.77, 76,77 die Zeit, bedeutet 2 kommen zu der Zeitüberschreitung und 14 insgesamt. Der belgische Verlag wird der Belgian Gelding Harry von Egenhoven, von Lupicor und Mano Engels für Belgien. currently with over 71,335. The first players are in the lead, 71.35 seconds. Casino Royale Fernandez and a Variant Stallion, Maurice Riquier, Labashi. Nervous down, Maurice Riquier, but not down penalties. Casino Royale Fernandez 83.26 seconds. Der 83,26 und damit 9 Punkte für die Zeit. In der Schweiz gezogen, der war auf den Kanto auf den CEO, erst 13-jährig, wird die Gewinn von Emma Kremer für Deutschland. Sechs Punkte insgesamt, das Ergebnis für Kramer und den Kanto. 4 aus dem Parcours für Eiffelzeitüberschreitung 76,35 Sekunden. A total of 6 penalties, included 2 per time, 76.35 seconds. Und jetzt kommt Uriel und Victoria Cianida. Victoria Tvalina the second refuses the nomination. Emerger Lula, 12 years old of Hellas Kaputu Milodarsi, Eva Namikard from Lithuania. Eva Navikada to Lola today with a 96.01 with 34 penalties and a reason to celebrate for Eva because it's her birthday today. Celebrate it, Eva, congratulations, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Und nun kommt Kalia S. Der Mecklenburger Stute, der Cheval de Blanc, die Jessica mit Kopfbereitschaft. Die Punkte für Karriere und Jessica mit die Zeit 74,21, wobei Liz Watford down 74.2 Von Tuno und Kuhlmann, der Holzleveler Tuhlmann, Joy Anna Mannike Deutschland. das ist ja schade. Für Joy Anna Meinecke, danach alles gut. Radlerverweigerung vor dem ersten Hindernis. 20 Punkte für Zeitüberschreitung. Jetzt Zug macht 24 Punkte, 94,74. Calgary, 1-2 Brücker Wallach. Von Carignon platziert die 1. Feierlös Voss für die Niederlage. Two town penalties, Feierlös Voss und Calgary, 76 und Fuß, 2 Punkte für das Überschreiten der Laufzeit. Aus der niederländischen Zucht wird der Dutch Breeding Gladstone of St. Basin, nichts mehr vor den Netherlands. In the lead for Nick, die Führung 71,08. Hannoveraner Wallach Easy von Amnesty 1, Conrad Sweeney from Ireland. 100, winning and easy from Ireland, 74.44 Hagens 4 penalties, 1 first down. 4 Punkte für den Hindernisfehler, 74,44 Sekunden. Der französische Baller über das Startsignal, das ist Top Tennis CV von Kilian de Revelle, Marie Neukirch für Deutschland. Delta Speed, 71,68, 73. Dritter Platz, der Third Place. Cartagena ist nun bei uns. Eine Tochter des Cascadillo und Camilo Maximiliane Fimpel für Deutschland. Das war der Nullrunde, die schreiben wir mal Keisha und Charlotte Lücke, korrekt? Charlotte? Wunderbar, gut, nur noch etwas richtig machen. Ehre mit Ehre gebührt, dritter Platz. Crystally of Lvov, tschechische Stute Philipp Lavalischewski. Bristol of Lula, Felipe Waliszewski in Terminal 74.76 and for Panelist 4 Punkte 74,76 damit in der erlaubten Zeit. Kovalievo präsentiert uns Tavi, den irischen Ace von Captain Glover, Harry Rush von Ireland. Vielleicht gleich. Harry. Wo ist er? Rush, Rush. Alle, alle. Harry, welcome to the stadium. Tell me, Harry Rush from Ireland. Harry Rush und Terry von Panelist 71.98 seconds. 4 Punkte 71,98 Sekunden. Und der letzte Span, the last to go, Lindoxello, Bethany Voss. Bethany Voss and Lindoxello, we are sorry, but it's the elimination in case of the second refusal. Ja, das Reglement leider hat Amerika ungehorsam führt zum Ausschluss in dieser Prüfung. Kovalievo, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, präsentierte uns hier diese Children Individual Competition. Wir freuen uns gleich auf eine Siegerehrung und Platzierung für unsere Einzelwertung. Cavaliero, die starke Fashion-Marke für Pferde und Reiter und Partner von Future Champions, versteht sich als Symbiose von Funktion, Design und Leistbarkeit. Cavaliero ist die Reitsportmarke des Familienunternehmens Albert Kern. Bis gleich.
Ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, now the competition number 22, Cavaliero Round presents the children individual competition, and we congratulate number 6. This is Tabby and Harry Rush. Auf dem guten Platz, congratulations to the good place, Calgary, and play Louis Foss. Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, die starke Fashion-Marke für Pferde, Reiter und Partner von
Future Champions versteht sich als Symbiose von Funktion, Design und Leistbarkeit. Coballero ist die Reitsportmarke des Familienunternehmens Albert Campbell. Coballero, the strong fashion brand for riding and sportswear, the Campbell Group, which stands for fashionable, functional, and affordability equestrian sports collections. Coballero wishes the champions of the future a successful Porsche. Und hereingebracht, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, von unserem Ringmaster Pedro. Freuen wir uns auf unsere Partei angeführt von unserem Siegertag. Die Prüfung Nummer 22, die internationale Prüfung für die Children Rider, die Individual Competition. Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, gewinnt mit einer fehlerfreien Runde 71,08 with a clear in 71.08 seconds. Der 12-jährige Wallach Gladstone und wir gratulieren seinem Reiter. Congratulations to Nick Stairs, the Netherlands. Und damit darf ich Sie bitten, sich von Ihren Plätzen zu erheben, denn wir ehren unser Siegerkanon mit der Hymne seiner Heimat, den Niederlanden. So, ladies and gentlemen, please rise. We honor the winner of the national anthem of the Netherlands. Congratulations, herzlichen Glückwunsch, Nick Stairs from the Netherlands and the Gladstone. Erhalten zunächst die herzlichen Glückwünsche vom Vorsitzenden Richter dieser Prüfung, Khalil Ibrahim Murat aus den Vereinigten Arabischen Emiraten. Der Ehrenpreis wäre gereicht von der Sascha Menke für unseren Partner Coballero. Begleitet wird er von unserem Gastgeber. The Authors of Drinks Entertainment und den Hofkassenmann von Lukas Mann. Und die Glückwünsche auch für den zweiten Platz. Ohne Punkte 71,35. Harry Valligenosen, Manon Engels, Belgium, La Belgique. Thank you very much to Coballero. Herzlichen Dank an unseren Partner Coballero, nicht nur bei den Future Champions, sondern zum Beispiel auch bei Haus Drinks. Wir gratulieren
Alan Latif Hagen, congratulations to all of you, the place riders. And now please take your lap of honor. Out to the mountain. Congratulations, next man. How many years from San Francisco? Audience Mother, there's special lap of honor. Congratulations again to our grand champion. We will see how it goes in the second round of the FEI Nations Cup of the Children. There in the Netherlands plays with a 4 so far on the third place. Ireland, Germany, Lair on the first place. Lithuania with a 6. Belgium with 11 and Sweden with a 12. The second round takes place at 2. 2023. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, at FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth of the Children. Welcome to the second round, presented by Covalivo, the strong fashion brand for riding and sportswear of the Hagen Group, which stands for fashionable, functional, and affordability equestrian sports collection. Covalivo wishes the champions of the future a successful horse show and competition here. And we're starting in reverse order. So we're starting with Sweden with the 12 finalists of the first round, and with K&T Kavak, Nicky Andersson, Sverige, Sweden.
Well, here we go then. Welcome back to FEI TV and the second round of this Youth Nations Cup for the children on horses. 6 teams come back to battle it out here in round number 2. And it's Sweden who get the scoring underway. Nicky Andersson and K&T Kabak will be the first of the rides. A couple of rails down in the opening phase of the competition for this pairing. They'll be looking to improve on that with a team score of 12 overall. We are in reverse order of merit for round number 1. So it is Sweden who sit in 6th place at this stage. And again, that score of 12 for the team so far. Nicky Andersson there, of course, finishing up on 8 vaults in round 1, and now here in round 2 they put in a very nice clear indeed. It is a really good way to start the second round for Sweden. To Belgium now, and Julie Mandau, who comes forward as the next. And again, a combination that struggled a little bit in round number 1. They tipped one rail. It was a little bit unlucky, to be fair, just pushing to get in that time allowed. They were 0.1 inside the time allowed here in round number 1. So they'll be keeping one eye on the clock as well as they go here. And it's going to be another rail in the midway stages here in round number 2, with Belgium on a team score of 11 at this stage, and potentially adding to their pain in 5th place at the moment. And was that another rail that went? No, it just a rattle. That one did, though, coming into the double, and up to 8 for jumping here in round number 2 as they sail over the final fence. 73.92 and 8 there for Belgium's Jules Limonsdau. To the first ride here in round number 2 for Lithuania. The team score of 6 achieved here in round number 1. Now joining us for their second round. This combination jumped clear for jumping, picking up 2 time penalties though here in round number 1. Need for speed is in need of speed, in fact. Laura Begait in the saddle for Lithuania. So looking like a little bit of a better pace. Can they keep the fences standing though? It's a little bit shaky coming into the double there, but they clear the final fence and they're well inside this time. 69.78, and the job is now complete for Lorabagite and for Lithuania there with Need for Speed jumping clear in round number 2. So they stay on that team score of 6 at this stage as we work our way through. And again, don't forget that discard score comes into play once again. They get 1 drop score in each round as we turn our attention to the Netherlands now, and River Morsinkov, who joins us as the next away. River having a bit of a rough time here in round number 1, a parting of ways with the horse, in fact, at the second last fence, if memory serves, and picking up an elimination there in round 1, but back for another go here in round 2. They've got to settle the nerves, regroup, recover, and get back underway. Yeah, well ridden through there to recover from the problems in the previous round. It is going to be 4 for jumping and 1 for time. 5 will be the final score, but a huge improvement on that score in round number 1 for River Morsinkov. Ireland and Germany were tied for top spot at the end of round number 1. Absolutely nothing to separate the two, but Lily Tunney comes back to join us once again. Will she give us a double clear here for Ireland? It is Caravaggio and Lily Tunney. So looking to give us our first double clear of the competition then. Yeah, going really, really nicely there. It is clear all the way for Ireland, and Lily Tunney gives us our very first double clear then in this Children on Horses Nations Cup. Ireland well on their way to a third Nations Cup victory here in Hagen. They won yesterday in the juniors, they won this morning for the ponies, and at the moment very much in reach of a victory for the Children on Horses. Another team that eked through round number 1 on a 0 score. Germany coming forward now, represented here by Jolie Marie-Kuna, and Diallo taking on the challenge here. This combination clear as well in round number 1. Can they give us our second double clear? And again, another faultless effort, 73.07, and clear all the way. Jolie Marie Hagen and Dialdo. Ireland and Germany both carrying a 0 score with one ride gone in round number 2. And we turn our attention back to Sweden once again. Sweden here with Fabian Tollig now. Vero will be the ride, a combination that had an unlucky rail down here in the first of 2 rounds of jumping. How well will they recover from the just minor issues in the opening round? Sweden carrying 12 at the moment from round 1. The first of their rider, if we cast our mind back a few moments, sits on a score of 8 as well. And a rail down in the opening stage is here for Fabian. It is the back rail of that big triple bar that comes tumbling down. So that's going to tick the team up to a score of 16 so far, in fact. Managing things well to just take that one rail, the early faults, but it is a score of 4 there for Fabian Tollig and for Vero, and a total score then for the team.
As next for the team of Belgium, it's given from the 9.
Now I see that as 16, but perhaps I'm misreading something. Double check that with the ground jury as we continue on to Belgium now, and Itzke van Eyden who comes forward. Mariara STBZ is the ride now for Belgium once again. So confirmation that it is a total score of 12 for Sweden at this stage. Looking to the first round for this combination, they had jumping and time penalties in that opening round. 4 jumping, 3 time, and it's going to be another 4 to add to the list, in fact, in the opening stages of this second round for Itzke van Eyden. And again, not the first time we've seen that one fall either, as they work their way through, coming home on the 8. Yes, 8 it is. And 1 for time, in fact. So 9 the final score in round number 2 there, taking the team score up to 19 in total.
Lithuania won a clear start in the second round. This is Kanalis and Emilia Zaikowskaite.
Emilia Zaikowskaite who comes forward now. Emilia on good form in round 1 with the only clear delivered for the Lithuanian team. Karalis is the ride, looking to get her double clear then. The team carrying a score of 6 at this stage. Again, the temperatures still climbing out in Hagen, as they are all over Europe at the moment. It's not just a jumping ability of these horses, it's the endurance and the sticking power of the riders, as well as an early rail force coming into the treble combination there, and up to 4 we go for Lithuania's Emilia Zaikauskaite.
Caramis
70.23, and it is going to be, I'm afraid, another 8 penalties there for Emilia, not getting her double clear here today. The team stay on that score of 6 at this stage, because that becomes a dropped score. But everything from here on in round number 2 will start to add on to that tally for Lithuania. Stella Heiligas, who comes forward now. Go is the partner. And again, just a small error in round 1 brought about 4 penalties for this combination at the first time of asking, but they continue now into round number 2. The team on a score of 4 overall, sitting in 6th place at the moment. Oh, what a shame. They just take over that time. So it is going to be 1 penalty there for Stella. 4 in the first round, 1 in the second. But doesn't make too much difference to the team score. Up to a total of 5 then at the moment.
Now to go with Castle Luxclover, Ruby Lily Gaines.
Ruby Lily Gaines, who will join us once again for Ireland, and again looking to preserve that 0 score. Ruby jumping around for 4 faults in the first round, and she'll be wanting to improve on that here. The first rider for Ireland, Lily Tunney, doing the job and jumping a really nice double clear. So essentially, whatever happens here, the team will stay on a 0 score. But it'll start to pile the pressure on the remaining 2 riders if anything comes down. Yes, nicely done indeed. 73.26 and all good there for Ruby Lily Gaines and Castle Lux. Clover gets the job done. It is another double clear, in fact another clear for Ireland. Lily with double clear, Ruby with a rail down in the first round, but clear here in the second. Maximilian Fimpel, who comes forward now. fighting, of course, for Germany with this one. It is Cartagena that comes forward as the ride. And Germany already with one double clear recorded. Can they get a second? This combination would clear in round number 1 as well. Final fence goes as well, and a total of 8 then this time for Maximilian Fimpel and Cartagena, 8 for jumping. And that, whilst it doesn't alter the scoring at this stage, leaves the door open just a crack for Ireland to take advantage. So with 2 rides gone for each team, it's still equal top spot for Germany and Ireland, tied on a score of 0. The Netherlands in 3rd with a score of 5. Lithuania on 6 in 4th place. 5th is with Sweden on 12, and 6th with Belgium on 19. As we turn our attention back to Sweden now, and the ride of Matilda Hansen, who put in a good performance in the Pony Nations Cup earlier on today, and back for the children on horses as well. She was clear with this one on Thursday. In fact, in the opening competition, she was clear in the opening round here just a couple of hours ago. In fact, Hello HX is the name of the mare. The team score for Sweden 12 at the moment. Those all carried forward from round number 1. And with one rider already on a 4 score, and the penalties will now start to add up. Comes out clean in the double. It's going to be clear, 71.58. It is another clear to add to the list for the team from Sweden, and that will keep them on that score of 12. That keeps them in contention here, well in line with a top 4 finish. In fact, just waiting on perhaps a little error from the Lithuanian team, who we'll see back a little bit later on as we turn our attention to Belgium and to Xander Lamberts, who comes forward now. Opium van de Kalumerchen. Jumping and time penalties in the first round for this pairing, and looking to improve on that, of course. The team score of 19 puts them really up against it here in round number 2. It's going to be real hard to claw their way back up a couple of placings. Still not impossible with another ride to come for each of the teams. Oh, what a real shame. The final fence goes, and that secures the fate for Belgium. It will be a 23 penalty score, and they're not going to be able to climb out of 6th place at this stage, even with their final effort.
The scores of the 7 rounds of her. Guy has Konamura, Leah, Nagmusa, Lithuania.
Leah Nagvasaita, who comes forward now. Kira's Connor Moore for Lithuania. Taking a look at the team score of 6 at the moment. But again, with a 8-fault round for the previous team member. They've got their work cut out from here, and they did have this same problem in the first round. The second disobedience comes at the very first fence once again, and Leia not going to get started here today. The second disobedience and elimination there, so the team score now of 14. Just how quickly things can change. That pushes Lithuania into 5th. As we turn our attention to the Netherlands and their 3rd ride here. Nina Hudsager, who comes forward with Chakotana. The team on a total score of 5 at this stage. Again, both the previous runners having faltered, so everything will count from this point forward. It is clear, 73.92. Really, really nicely done there. Double clear, in fact, for Nina and for Chakotana. Clear all the way in both rounds, keeping the team score of 5 there for the Netherlands. At the moment, they are in 3rd place.
And now, the 3rd trial clear after both rounds so far. This is Cosima.
We'll look to Cosima now, and Ireland's Alice Maloney, the team on a score of 0. As the 3rd ride here, and things start to become a little bit clearer. It is still Ireland and Germany that are inseparable on faults at this stage, both carrying a 0 score. Ireland with 2 clears so far in round number 2, but it is a early rail down then for this combination. Again, won't alter the score at this stage with the previous 2 riders jumping clear, but again doesn't do their final rider any favours at all.
the first fence now. Alice Maloney.
So that first fence, and it's a long way home once the first fence falls, as they say, but it is just the 4 there for Ireland's Alice Maloney, keeping the team on a 0 score with those double clears from Lily Tunney. The clear round in this second round for Ruby Gaines as well. But it's pretty level peggings, in fact, at this stage, with Germany, both teams having one falter in this second round at the moment. Louise Conley, who comes forward now, dressed for success, picked up 3 time penalties, in fact, in the opening round. Clear for jumping. Got to pick up the pace a little bit here in round number 2. Not at the cost of a rail down, though, because that would really give the advantage back to the Irish team at this stage. Again, as things stand, the top 3 still completely undecided. There's potential for Ireland, Germany, or the Netherlands to take the top spot here. Especially with a performance like that, we keep everything wide open here. Louisa and dressed for success, sneak inside the time, 74.43, and big smiles, rightfully so, jumping clear there with dressed for success. Just those 3 time penalties from that opening round, but it is a 0 score with 3 rides gone for Ireland and for Germany, 5 for the Netherlands, 12 for Sweden, 14 for Lithuania. And we start all over again with the final rides now. We go to Sweden once again. Julia Dafgard, who comes forward with Nobles Jamais. They opened their scoring in the first round on 8 penalties. So again, the team score of 12 at this stage. It's now going to tick up a little bit. It is going to go up to 16. Putting them back down behind Lithuania in 6th place at this stage. Again, vital points up for grabs across this series for the Youth Nations Cup for our children on horses riders. Sweden in 8th overall at this stage. But it is just that one rail that comes down, so that will be the drop score there for Julia. The final score after 2 rounds of jumping for Sweden of 16 penalties. So at the moment it's Poland 7th, Belgium 6th, Sweden in 5th, but we will see that final ride for Belgium now. Estelle van Tricht coming forward with Seacoast, Don't Touch, TG Hero. Out for the experience today. There's nothing they can do to alter the team's fortunes here today. 23 the score for Jean-Jacques Mathis and the Belgian team, as Estelle van Tricht rides forward as the final ride. Well, out for pride, and they definitely secure that, jumping double clear there with Estelle van Tricht and with Seacoast Don't Touch. TG Hero safely clear, 72.90. As we say, it doesn't affect the favours of Belgium. They will finish up in 6th place here today, but a very, very good round of jumping as an individual there for Estelle.
The 4th competitor for Lithuania.
Onwards we go to the final ride then for Lithuania, coming forward to contest. Trojas Rimkevikas, who comes forward now. Calimero W will be the next to challenge. Lithuania sitting in 4th place on a score of 14. So again, this combination just having an unlucky rail down in the opening round, picking up 4 on that occasion, and with the team score of 14, not possible for them to climb the leaderboard any further. But a 4th place finish guaranteed then just off the podium for Lithuania, as Trojas pushes over that final fence, 72.87. Calimero W jumping clear here in round number 2.
So clear the Nations Cup, and a total of 14 finalists.
So 14 for Lithuania, finishing up in 4th place, confirmed, as we now turn our attention to 3 very, very influential rounds. The Netherlands join us here. They need a clear to keep any sort of hope alive. It all comes down to how Germany and Ireland perform to decide where the Netherlands will finish up. They're not going to take the victory. They could just sneak into 2nd, depending on what happens to Ireland and Germany's final rides, or more importantly, Germany's final ride. It is then Liv Linson who comes forward with Genie WZ. They were clear in round number 1. Can they achieve that double clear and maybe give the Netherlands a chance to sneak up into 2nd? Have they got it? Yes, they have. Great performance under pressure. 70.85 and double clear for Liv Linson. And for the Netherlands, GWZ gets the job done. It is 3rd place at the moment on a score of 5 for the Netherlands, but with Germany and Ireland still to go. Worst case scenario, Ireland finish on a score of 4. Whatever happens here, they could be 0, it could be 4 as a worst case scenario. However, Germany, with already 1/8 fault round on the scorecards in this 2nd round, could end up dropping down into 3rd. They could also take the victory. We'll have to see how it plays out with the final ride for Ireland now, and Cian McMahon, who comes forward to conclude the jumping for Ireland. Limited edition is the ride. They jumped so well in the first round to give us a clear, and a double clear here is going to give them the very, very best chance of taking the victory. Of course, we could even see a jump off. 2 teams tied on a 0 score at this stage. Well, great performances for the Irish contingent. It is Cian McMahon who finishes the job with limited edition clear all the way, 71.47. So the final score for Ireland will be clear all the way, 2:16.73 the cumulative time, with a final ride to come for Germany now. And as we said, a clear here would force a jump off. One rail down will keep Germany in second place. 2 rails down will demote them to third. We'll have to see how it plays out. A very influential round for the final rider for Germany, Colin Sorg and Casillas. They were clear here in round number 1. A rail has gone, so it is going to be Ireland's win here in Hagen. They're going to take a third Nations Cup victory. Germany, at the moment, just clinging on to second place. They cannot afford another penalty. Oh, the final fence. Oh, what a shame. It's the final fence that falls, and that takes Germany from equal top spot all the way down to third. The poetry in motion of team show jumping, it just shows how quickly things can change, and all of a sudden, it's Ireland's win. It's the Netherlands who take second. It's Germany who take the third. Lithuania will be fourth, Sweden fifth, Belgium sixth, and Poland in seventh place. But once again, it's a third successive Nations Cup victory here in Hagen. The Irish team's absolutely unbeatable so far. Lily Tunney, Ruby Gaines, Alice Maloney and Cian McMahon are winning riders for Ireland in this Children on Horses Youth Nations Cup.
In the ranking, we are preparing everything for the prize-giving ceremony.
So another prize-giving ceremony to come. Of course, the teams getting their awards, the individuals already decided after round number 1. We've also got that Pony Grand Prix coming up a little bit later on in the day. And don't forget to join us once again at the end of the penultimate day here in Hagen on FEI TV, and indeed on Clip My Horse as well. The final Nations Cup competition coming up at 7:30 local time, so 6:30 GMT if you're in the UK. That coming up for the young riders at 6:30 or 7:30 local, right here on FEI TV and Clip My Horse. But congratulations to Ireland, who take yet another win in Hagen.
Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, Cavaliero, die starke Fashionmarke für ihre Reiter und Partner von Future Champions, besteht sich als Symbiose von Funktion, Design und Leistbarkeit. Cavaliero ist die Reitsportmarke des Familienunternehmens Albert Kerbel GmbH und präsentierte uns auch hier den FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth of the Children. Wir freuen uns auf eine große Siegerehrung und Platzierung in wenigen Augenblicken mit unseren Top 3 Teams. Sie werden gerade vorbereitet und in wenigen Augenblicken freuen wir uns, sie dann begrüßen zu dürfen. Cavaliero, ladies and gentlemen, the strong fashion brand for riding and sportswear of the Kerbel Group, with a stance for fashionable, functional, and affordability equestrian sports collections. Cavaliero, which is the champions of the future, is successful horse show and a good competition. Der ist unser Partner und gleich freuen wir uns, angeführt vom siegreichen irischen Team, auf unsere Top 3. The team of Ireland. The prize-giving ceremony is Siegerehrung. Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, Cavaliero Brand presents the CSIO Children FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth of the Children. Und in dritter Platz, the third place, ladies and gentlemen, with a score of 8 penalty points. Mit 8 Punkten für Diago, für Cartagena, Restful Success und für Casillas, für Jolie-Marie Kühler, für Maximiliane Flippel, Luise Kunde und Colin Sorg. Wir sagen Glückwunsch an das Team aus Deutschland, Germany. On the second race, with a total of 5 penalties, with Checkpoint Chaco, with Local, Chaco Brava, with City Visit, gerettet von River Mosenhoff, Stella Handligers, Nina Krautzacher, Liv Linsen, die Niederlande. And ladies and gentlemen, the victory goes to the clear to Chelsea Team James Kernan, to the horses to Caravaggio, Castle Luxembourg,
the Cosima and Limited Edition, ready by Lily Tully, Roby, Lily Gates, Alice Maloney, Keegan McMahon, the team of Ireland, Australia. So, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask you to rise and stand. We would like to honor the winning team of Ireland with the national anthem. Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, bitte erheben Sie sich für Ihren und unser Siegerteam mit der irischen Nationalhymne. Congratulations to the victory, to Ireland. And first of all, there are the congratulations of the member of the jury, the foreign judge, with the congratulations of the FEI Irish Mulholland. Wir bedanken uns herzlich bei unserem Partner Covaliero, die nicht nur die Future Champions, sondern auch Horses and Dreams unterstützen. Und die Glückwünsche von Covaliero werden überreicht von unserer Champion. Und die Glückwünsche, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, für unsere Gastgeber, für die Veranstalter, Horses and Dreams Entertainment und der Hofkasselmann, überreicht von Frau Donati. Wir haben diese Platte zum Andenken gibt es hier für das Team. Blutschein, über Uwex Handschuhe und natürlich auch die Siegerdecke. Lily, Ruby Lily, Alice, and Kian. The winning riders together with the Shelby Keep, James Turner. Congratulations again to Ireland. The next victory for the Irish Federation. Der nächste Sieg für unsere Gäste aus Irland. Nach den Ponys heute Morgen also auch bei den Children, und es ist ein toller zweiter Platz, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren. A perfect second place with 5 penalties. Congratulations again to the team of the Netherlands. Chelsea's Evan Holman with the Dutch team on the second place. Ein Polo mit unseren 42. Und spannend bis zum Schlusspreis. Und wir haben ein tolles Team auf dem dritten Platz. Wir sagen Dankeschön an Jolie Marie, an Maximiliane, an Luise und an Colin. Einen tollen dritten Platz. Dankeschön. Team Deutschland. Seit vielen Jahren haben wir für das Team vom Bundestrainer Ebert Siemann. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a special prize for the three third-place teams to the winner with a €500 of Just World. Just World is a humanitarian non-governmental organization that provides education, healthcare, and nutrition programs to transform the lives of children in under-resourced communities. More than 260 million children worldwide don't have access to education. Just World is on a mission to change that. Founded in 2003, Just World has been an FEI official charity partner since 2019. The team can choose an organization for this €500. Congratulations to Ireland. And €300 for the seconds, and the Dutch team can choose a good one as well to the opportunity for equestrians and individuals to learn about experience and contribute to a global campaign against poverty. And with €200, the German team can choose as well. Aber unser deutsches Team mit €200 darf sich eine tolle Organisation aussuchen, womit es unterstützen mag. Und diese €200 für gut angelegt werden. Delta Horsepower is Just World's official Delta Project sponsor for Future Champions 2023. Auch da sagen wir Dankeschön, Sie machen es möglich. Und jetzt gratulieren wir vor allem. Congratulations to the winning team again. And now, please take your lap of honor. Wir feiern unsere Sieger. That's the reason why I was just the victory. The fastest. Congratulations again. Congrats to the Motherland. Second place. All casting the vote. Here's the back. Here's the back. So Irish, are you ready for a special lap of honor again? Come on. We want to see you again on the lap of honor. Congratulations to Ireland. Number 3 of the juniors, damit meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, unser sehr, sehr fleißiges Parcours-Team baut schon alles für die großen Preis der Junioren um 16:15 geht es los. The Grand Prix of the juniors is starting at 4:15.
Lerne online von den besten Experten und Trainern.
Und jetzt versuchst du nur durch Tippen der Hüfte, oben bleibst du gerade, mehr Gewicht auf die linke Hand zu bekommen. Dass man einfach selber mal ein Gespür dafür bekommt, wie sehr man das Gewicht verlagern kann.
Hunderte Online-Kurse und Live-Webinare, wann und wo du willst. FEI, dein Training, dein Team.
passion. It is trust and welfare that makes top performance possible. One lead, one goal, for the moment